Hello guys and welcome to another status report highlight, this time for the week of 24th of February 2015. And as always we're going to kick things off with producer Brian Hicks, who starts off by reminding us, as we move towards the 054 stable branch update, I'd like to cover a few points that you all should know. As with all updates during early access, this is a development build and thus has its own issues, bugs and so on. If you encounter any of this, please open a ticket over at feedback.dayzgame.com. And then Hicks moves on to say, part of the 054 is the tech required to support the redesign of our user interface. This is just the initial work required to support said changes, not the changes itself. Thus everything will look different, but not necessarily how we intend it to look by the time we hit 1.0. The user interface is just one part of the evolving technology coming in from the engine and gameplay programming teams, and it will be iterated throughout early access. As well, with 054 comes the initial implementation of the new animal AI. This system is still early on, so odd behavior will be encountered. However, even with the system in this early state, this is a strong step in the direction of a more robust, lifelike animal behavior system. Hicks for one is looking forward to the hermit hunter lifestyle the next time he logs into a public hive character. In addition to the large amount of new content to explore, new enterable structures, villages, redesigned areas and more, 054 features continued security enhancements, bug fixes and more. Over the coming weeks, Esmos will also be rolling out some new features over the community side of DayZ.com, including a weekly community focus that showcases user-created content, streams, art, and so much more. Head over to the community hub at DayZ.com and take a look. As always, developers are on hand to take your suggestions and feedback on the official DayZ forums at forums.dayzgame.com. And that's all from lead producer Brian Hicks. Next up we had lead designer Peter. As we are getting closer to the release of the next stable branch update of DayZ with version number 054, we are focusing more on tidying up and fixing the most annoying bugs and issues instead of working on new features or expanding existing ones. For example, we identified and fixed a long timer related to synchronizing the temperatures of objects, which was consuming relatively large chunks of communication between the server and client. Fortunately, it didn't happen often or in a large scale, but it's really great to have fixed it now, with upcoming refactored fireplace, which will become more usable, with more items thus used by survivors. There was also few issues which was fixed related to the independent liquid types we introduced in the last version. One worthy to mention is the issue which completely breaks character stomachs, energy, and water statuses. I already mentioned the fireplace, which is undergoing refactoring for some time now and is going seamlessly to the fixing and polishing stage. Now when there is a solid foundation of the system, the next step is the cooking process in general, with plenty of the different food available in the game and 3 distinct food processing types. To name them boiling, baking and drying, things can get out of control really quickly. Well, at least especially when we want to stretch the possibilities and interactions to the maximum and want to visualize the outcome of the process. What will happen when food is already baked and you start boiling it? Do you need to pre-process the food before drying? What about moldy food? And plenty of other questions related to that topic which needs to be answered beforehand. After the intended cooking mechanics are in place and the central economy is working as it should, we can finally say goodbye to the generous amount of spawned non-perishable food. Most of you are probably waiting for the enrichment of the vehicle controls, manual transmission. We had some quality time already while trying it on our internal build, but it needs a little bit more time to be tweaked into the state which is safe for the public release. Good thing is that with its implementation some of the issues with vehicle behavior were properly addressed, so a little bit of waiting doesn't hurt. As far as vehicle parts go, I owe you at least a quick update. Their functionality is dependent mostly on the new inventory system that is currently being implemented, and of course on the support from the extended vehicle simulation itself. And last but not least, we are making steady progress on the new AI for Infected, which is getting along nicely, and I hope you will be able to experience it and its benefits soon on experimental versions, before it hits a stable release later on. However, as we know, Animal AI will be released beforehand. And that's all for this week's status report of the 24th of February 2015. I hope you guys found it helpful, but as always I'd recommend reading the status report in full for yourselves for the most amount of information that it holds. All links will be in the description, as well as for DayZ TV for your latest DayZ news and information. And for now, I'll see you peeps next time.